here today because people keep dying in acts of gun violence, in mass shootings, and other acts of gun violence, and nothing's really happening. People keep dying, people talk about it, people say they're going to do something, and then nothing happens. And mostly I was inspired by the people at Stoneman Douglas High School who survived and who have gone on to speak about the things that they can do, the things that other people can do to advocate for ways to protect students and people in the US and to stop gun violence. And the fact that they could do that after, literally watching friends die and experiencing a horrible mass shooting gives me hope that I can do something, even though, I'm just here and I haven't experienced anything like that. So that's why.
I was tired of seeing how many senseless murders happen in the US every year, and I just want people who attend LaSalle to realize that just because we're such a small school in the middle of Milwaukee doesn't mean that there's not a chance that we could have something like this happen. And just because it hasn't happened to us personally doesn't mean that it doesn't matter, and we shouldn't be desensitized to it just because it happens so often.
America is the only country where mass shootings are a regular thing. Like what Grant said, when this was on the news, I wasn't like, oh my god, this is the worst thing that's ever happened, because it's already happened so many times. And obviously guns are the problem. It is evil people, but it makes it so much easier for them to kill mass amounts of people because of guns, and that's why we need more gun control, and that's why guns are the problem.
I mean, I think mostly, we didn't want to do a really big, marching, yelling, protest kind of thing, because we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, not a lot of people would hear this. But I think it's less about the national conversation and more about the LaSalle conversation itself. Instead of, how will people at LaSalle be able to deal with this violence that's happening in schools, we are a school. Just how will LaSalle students be able to be involved nationally, and how will we react to it?
Meadow Pollock was 18 years old when she was murdered. She was confident, sassy, and ready to get out of high school. Meadow was planning on attending Lynn University in the fall with an undeclared major. She chose Lynn because she wanted to stay close to her family and her boyfriend.
Joaquin Oliver was 17 years old when he was murdered. He was originally from Venezuela, but moved to Florida at age 3 with his family. Joaquin was popular around school and spent most of his time playing basketball, football, soccer, and listening to hip-hop music.
Chris Hickson was 49 years old when he was murdered at work. He was the athletic director and wrestling coach to many. He was a father figure as well. He treated his athletes like they were his children, along with his wife and his special needs son. His students will greatly miss him. And now Marin is going to read a poem written by a David Douglas student.
"17 dead. 17 bullets took 17 breaths. They didn't make it out. Out of where? Out of school. 17 died, most before 17. Why? In a place that was supposed to be safe, and supposed to mean that our friends are supposed to be okay, alive, but they're not. 70% of our time, we sit in a class and worry less about math than what we're gonna do if we hear a gunshot. We are scared to go to school because we don't want to be next texting our parents, "I love you," because we don't know if we'll be able to see them again. Students are getting killed on a regular basis and no one seems to care. We need more than thoughts and prayers. So here we are, students, lighting the flare, because we are done watching our friends die and we have had enough. So we ask, are you going to stand by or stand up with us?
People, even if it means being controversial or restricting ourselves. Do we value life above all things? Do we believe in antagonism and matching violence with violence? Or can we put some restrictions on everyone, accepting those limitations, so that everyone can live in peace and without fear?